Welcome to episode 16 of Our College, Your Voices. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. It's the most wonderful time of the year. As people who live their lives by semesters, we all know that this actually refers to the graduation season. Two of the Ivy Tech campuses, Indianapolis and Sellersburg, have winter commencements. In this episode, we're going to hear from students and their families, as well as our faculty, about what graduation means to them, about what Ivy Tech means to them, and what their plans are for the future. On Friday, December 14th, 2018, the Indianapolis campus celebrated the first of its two winter commencement ceremonies, celebrating the nursing penning and commencement of its nursing and paramedic science graduates. More than 100 students graduated that evening, and we're going to bring you both their student stories as well as some of the sounds of the graduation ceremony. Since we recorded this episode on location at the two Indianapolis commencement ceremonies, you may notice just a bit of audio quality difference. We'll do our best to always give you the best quality, but we also want to bring you as many voices as possible. Can you tell me what your name is and what you just did tonight?
My name is Alyssa Banda, and I just graduated from the paramedic to RN program at Ivy Tech.
And what are you planning to do after graduation?
I'm planning to work in the ER at Eskenazi.
Very good. And tell me a little bit about just your experience here at Ivy Tech.
It was a very good experience. I did the paramedic to RN transition program, so it's a little bit shorter than the traditional, and it's a good way to become an RN as you work full-time as a paramedic.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you.
President Sue Elsterman welcomed our nursing grads and gave them an important charge as they set out in their careers.
And our state is counting on you as being on the front line in fighting and winning against opioid and other addiction crises that we face in our communities, both urban and rural. Thank you for being smart, compassionate, hardworking, and committed to improving health outcomes in a not-so-healthy state. We know that. You are the frontline warriors who will help Hoosiers make better choices and live more amicably with chronic conditions. For many of you, you will be the face of caring for those who are entering difficult stages in their life. Conversely, you will be there to share with folks some of the happiest moments, like the birth of a baby or a successful surgery. So now, let me talk about you, our Ivy Tech graduates. You amaze me. You are moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, warehouse workers, first-generation scholars, immigrants. Some are first-time college students with wide eyes. Some of you are a little older, like me, and you came back, maybe with some trepidation. Whatever the path to get here, we are so proud of you.
Each of the Indianapolis commencement ceremonies includes a student speaker. The student speaker at the nursing penning and commencement was Mickey Howard. Here is Mickey's address to her fellow graduates.
Hi, my name is Mickey Howard. Finally, let me just say we're here. But bear with me, because right now I'm experiencing tachycardia, tachypnea, and diaphoresis. And for those of you who are not nurses, it translates to rapid heart rate, rapid respirations, and profuse sweating. I want to start off saying by how humbled and honored I am to be here today, speaking on behalf of my fellow nursing students. We would like to take a moment to thank all of the friends, family, and loved ones here today that supported us throughout our journey during nursing school. You know exactly how many gatherings and events we had to miss due to endless hours of studying. I say we need a vacation, and we should all leave for Florida tonight and spend about a week on the beach. Because the moment we get back, we'll be furiously studying for NCLEX. Yay, another exam. Lastly, we will never forget the amazing faculty, professors, and clinical instructors who have been with us the whole time, sharing their experiences, cheering us on and challenging us, and most importantly, how much a glass of wine, beer, or margarita helps at the end of a 12-and-a-half-hour shift. How many of you remember submitting your applications to the program and then impatiently waiting to get those acceptance emails? For most of us, that was about 2 years ago. I remember when I got mine, I called my husband crying. Poor guy, he was so confused, he actually thought somebody died because of the way I was crying. Then first semester started. getting used to NCLEX-style questions, all the deadlines, lab checkoffs, homework, quizzes, exams, simulations, and care plans. It never seemed to end. And at the end of the day, it was really nice to know that the person sitting beside you was going through the exact same thing. Then the friendships started forming. And yes, each and every one of us had to put our own hard work and hours studying to get here. Yet I don't think any of us could have gotten through this without meeting and making at least one good friend. I have been blessed to get to know so many of you, either from being a part of the Student Nursing Association, volunteering for the nursing school open houses to welcome the new nursing students, and from the Student Advisory Board, peer tutoring classes, clinical, and the class Facebook page. As most of my fellow nursing students can attest to, I really love memes and quotes. I want to share with all of you one that I found to describe nursing friendships, and it states, "Once a nurse, always a nurse. No matter where you go or what you do, you can never get out of nursing. It's like the mafia. You know too much." Although our nursing journey, we have morphed into a family because Lord knows we have spent more time with each other than our own families. Some of you may have experienced the whole mafia family phenomenon, whether it was marching band or playing on a sports team, serving our military, or in any other activity that demands extreme commitment. It is inevitable that people will build a sense of camaraderie with those around you, thus experiencing the mafia family phenomenon. Some of my fellow nursing students were kind enough to share their favorite memories, so I may share with all of you. And don't worry, no HIPAA violations will occur here tonight. No one could ever forget Disaster Day, when someone broke the zipper off the suit and I was stuck in it for about 30 minutes. Don't worry, if you missed it, my fellow nursing students made sure to document it on Facebook and Snapchat, so there is evidence. Or in lab, when we started learning how to insert Foley catheters, and one student that shall remain nameless forgot to deflate the balloon and flung Mrs. Bray's removable sex organs across the room. Yes, that really happened. Or the solar eclipse. Many students told me how they remember rushing outside the doors, sharing those funky glasses so they didn't burn their eyeballs or blind themselves. Or the time someone's car caught fire in the student parking lot. I bet that was a horrible day for some poor soul, while the rest of us were just glad to not have to deal with one more thing. And when school was canceled because there was a fire on the third floor bathroom. And one of mine is I still have nightmares from the first day of mental health clinical at LaRue State Carter Hospital, where a couple of us got lost in the hallways, and we thought we would never make it back to the post-conference room. It seriously felt like a scene straight out of Halloween. Or all the crazy looks we received at Starbucks during our early morning study sessions. We totally cleared the cafe a few times because of our topics of conversation, which usually included disease processes or body parts. So no one will ever forget Lymphoma Kyle. Because the day we learned about lymphomas in lab, Mrs. Pogue rubbed Kyle's chest and said, "Don't worry, she told us she was there when Kyle was born and knew she had a lymphoma on his chest." And then we all rubbed Kyle's chest. And how about the fabulous stories from clinical? But oh wait, HIPAA. So what happened at clinical has to stay at clinical. But all these memories and experiences we share have bonded us together, and we will remember these events for life. On that note, I am excited to be graduating beside each and every one of you. We made it to graduation. So take pride in how far you come, have faith in how far you'll go, and most of all, don't forget to enjoy the journey. And now on to study for NCLEX.
Matthew Kajnarski. Grace Abby Bolton. Ruby Diorio Pierce. Christian Godinez.
So tell me your name and what you just did tonight.
Jennifer Long, and I just did the LPN to RN transition program and graduated from Ivy Tech Greencastle, the Greencastle campus. Yep.
Very good. And what are you going to do after graduation?
I got a job at Methodist Hospital. Yep.
Congratulations. How long have you wanted to be a nurse?
I actually have been an LPN for 12 years, so it's taken me a long time to get here, so it's even bigger for me, it feels like, to accomplish it. So a long time.
And who supported you while you were getting your degree?
My friends and my family and my husband.
Very good. Congratulations again. On Saturday morning, December 15th, about 140 graduates from the other remaining schools at Ivy Tech Indianapolis celebrated winter commencement. Here are some of the sounds from that day's commencement ceremony. You're first going to hear me interview Dr. Kathy Lee, and then we're going to segue right into Dr. Lee's welcome to the graduates and a little bit of the excitement that graduates feel on that morning of graduation. So I'm here with Ivy Tech Indianapolis Chancellor Kathy Lee. Kathy, what are you doing today?
Hey, I'm just kind of hanging out for graduation. It's so exciting. This is my favorite day of the year. Oh, actually days, because we did it last night too with our nursing students, and today we're doing it with all the rest of our students.
And so here in Indianapolis, you have a huge ceremony. What's the preparation look like for commencement here?
That's a really good question, and I don't know because there's a team behind the scenes who actually works starting almost tomorrow for the next graduation. So we plan a semester ahead. So there are folks who are directing the families. There are folks who are handling the students and making sure they're gowned and robed the right way. And there's a bookstore team here selling last-minute gifts and thoughtful items. And there are folks here just directing people, and security's here handling traffic. And all that is orchestrated by Michelle Griffin and her team to make sure that it falls into place. And Julie Kirby has the job of wrangling all the senior leadership to make sure we're in the right place at the right time, ready to go.
I would argue that Julie might have the hardest job of the day.
Yeah, I think Julie probably does have one of the harder jobs.
So what's your goal as you think about this experience every student has today? Do you have a goal or a thought about what you want every student to take away from today?
I do. They need to feel that it's about them. This is their day and their family's day. And so that's why I think no matter how many students we get, everybody gets to walk across the stage, hear their name called, have their hand shaken, and have that photo op opportunity so they have memories of the day. I know the big schools like to just stand folks up and then sit them all back down and say you're graduated. But I hope we never lose that individual approach here at Ivy Tech.
Excellent. Thanks, Kathy. Let's go have a great day today.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fall 2018 Ivy Tech Community College Indianapolis Commencement Ceremony. It is our great pleasure to be with all of the graduates and our families this morning on this very important occasion in your lives. But you know what? You made it. Are you excited? Yeah, okay. I'm not buying it. Graduates, are you excited to be graduating today? Come on.
So tell me your name and what you're graduating with today.
I am Brianna Hawkins, and I'm graduating with the Visual Communications and Photography.
Excellent. And so what do you plan to do after graduation?
I plan on joining the workforce, going into the photography workforce and doing stuff like that.
Excellent. So did this start as a hobby and then you came to get your degree, or was it just an interest area and you came to school to begin?
It started off with an obsession with Photoshop, and then with photography, I learned to appreciate more of the art than just trying to make composites. So it started off as an interest, but now it's like I have a real passion for it.
Outstanding. And what has Ivy Tech meant to you in this journey?
So much. When I first came here, I didn't expect to make as many friends as I did. I didn't expect to have the experience and to have the actual community, being for one another. It's amazing. It's one of the best college experiences. I swear it's a home. It's kind of like a bittersweet feeling that I'm graduating, I'm happy, but I'm no longer a student here at the same time. So this place was amazing.
Well, we're always here and you can always come back to us anytime. Congratulations.
We are all most grateful for your commitment to not only educating yourself, but for gaining the skills and competencies to enter the workforce to fill those great jobs that are keeping Indiana's economy growing and increasing your prosperity, your family's prosperity, and your communities. Some of you today will be transferring on to a 4-year school to pursue a bachelor's degree or beyond. We are proud of you as well. You have completed the half marathon. As we know from a recent study by Purdue, you Ivy Tech students actually do better than their own students. You will persist better and you will graduate on time at higher rates. That's a fact. So I want you to know that you are well prepared for the journey ahead. So I'll leave with my favorite quote. It's Thomas Edison who said, "Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration." I know I'm preaching to the choir when I look out here today. You, more than any other college graduate I know, understand perspiration. Working, going to school, raising a family, helping in your community, all at the same time. So now I want you to know you are also genius. Use what you have learned here at Ivy Tech to do big things with a big heart, make a difference, and help Central Indiana become the best place for anyone to live, work, play, and raise a family. Congratulations, Ivy Tech graduates.
Hi, what is your name and what are you graduating with today?
Brian Pugh, criminal justice.
Excellent. And what brought you to Ivy Tech? What made you start this journey?
Well, I started right out of high school, so it was more of convenience and more of I could have my own schedule. I could stay home. I could work. I could pay my bills while going to school.
Have you been working while you've been going to school?
Yes, I was. And then I had my daughter. So it was even, yes, thank you. It was better, too. Once I had my daughter, I could stay home and still go to school and still accomplish my degree.
Excellent. And so what are your plans now that you're graduating?
I'm going to continue to raise my daughter. And then when she gets a little bit older, I'm hoping that I can get into the criminal justice field somehow, some way.
Excellent. Are you thinking about volunteering while you're raising your daughter just to sort of stay connected?
Yes. There's a CASA program that's in Johnson County, and I want to volunteer with that too. And they have a domestic violence center, and I've thought about volunteering at the domestic violence center.
Excellent, because work experience doesn't have to be paid. It can be volunteer too. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Next up is our next student speaker, Josh Heath. Josh is a design technology student and graduates from Ivy Tech after a long and difficult road. Josh's story inspires me, and I hope that it inspires you as well.
Hello, fellow students, faculty, and families. I've been asked today to give a brief summary of my journey to Ivy Tech. My journey to Ivy Tech Community College can be viewed as a long and winding road. Along the way, there were many trials through education, personal hardship, and physical injury. I would like to give a brief overview of my life, starting with one of the most pivotal moments when my mother moved my siblings and I to Indianapolis. Upon my arrival, I had the realization that city life was a world of its own and that my life, at least in the shortcoming, would never be the same. It was a massive culture shock coming from an extremely small town in northwest Arkansas of around 150 people. I had not anticipated the rush everyone had constantly seemed to be in, or just how little people seemed to care about the hardships of those around them. Unwittingly, I was judging those around me based on what I had learned in day-to-day interactions. Aside from cultural shock, I had many trials in my school endeavors. I could not read nor write nor even do simple arithmetic, despite the fact that I had tested with a high intellect as a young child. I was later found to be severely dyslexic. The school system in Arkansas never bothered to test me and instead placed me in remedial classes and allowed me to play organ trail all day. Due to this, I fell massively behind in school, to the point of not being able to read a stop sign at 11 years old. Then we moved to Indiana, and I received the help I needed, although I never quite caught up. My struggles in school, among other things, led me to drop out of school my junior year. A year later, I decided I wanted to get more in my life and painstakingly pushed through and received my GED. Yet my academic struggles made me believe that my future was in blue-collar jobs, and for the time, I was okay with that future. Then at age 19, a woman who is now my wife, and I had our first child, a beautiful little girl. Before my little girl had even turned a year old, my fiance and I had found out that we were expecting again, which was exciting and shocking at the same time. A few months after finding out we were expecting again, I suffered a gruesome factory accident. I was struck by a forklift, and my injuries led me to 2 knee surgeries and 1 ankle surgery. I still live with pain from that day. The injury and my children needing me to provide a future forced me to reevaluate my life yet again. I decided to go back to school, unaware that yet more challenges were ahead. I entered into electrical engineering program at ITT Tech, and for a time, things were great. I was getting through the classes and seemed to be grasping most of the knowledge with relative ease. Then one day, during one of my final semesters, I arrived on campus to find the doors to the school chained with a sloppy handwritten note stating the college was closed indefinitely. This was shocking, depressing, and infuriating all at the same time. It almost broke me. When I found out that they had lost their accreditation, after a few months, I was tired of sitting around waiting to see what was going to happen at ITT. So I pulled myself up with the support of my family and decided to look for a new school, even if that meant starting from ground zero. I needed to prove a point to my kids that when they get older, no matter how many times life knocks you down, you have to just get up. So I found my way to Ivy Tech and entered the School of Design Technology program. I found that I could use my artistic interests plus my mechanical and electrical skills in ways I had never imagined. Suddenly new horizons opened, and the kid who couldn't read at age 11 was now receiving certifications and advanced training and became the lab tech of the IDEA lab here on campus. I finally feel like I have hit my stride. In conclusion, I'd like to thank all those who believed in me through my dark years, especially my family. They believed in me even when I didn't trust myself, and that really made the difference. Thank you.
Jessica Lee Hanley, Brianna Nicole Gonzalez, Madeline Christine Cole, Williams Joseph Carroll,
We end every episode with a call to action. Would you like to share what Ivy Tech has meant to you? Leave us a voicemail at our new voicemail number, 317-572-5049, and share your story. Voicemails do need to be under 2 minutes long. We'll try to use it on a future episode of the podcast. Thank you for joining episode 16 of Our College, Your Voices. Congratulations again to all of the students and their families, friends, and faculty for achieving the incredible milestone of a certificate or degree. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. You can connect with me on Twitter at KNMTweets. Our producer is Ann Valentine. Ann is on Twitter at IndyPenny. You can reach us by email at ourcollegeyourvoices@ivytech.edu. And don't forget, you can leave us a voicemail message that we might play on a future episode. Our number is 317-572-5049. And if you ask a question on our 25th episode, which we'll release on March 14th, we might just use your question or a shout out to a fellow colleague. Our website, ivytech.edu/podcast, is maintained by Tracy Allen. Production assistance for this and every episode is provided by Becky Campbell, Sarah DeWitt, and the Ivy Tech Community College marketing team. The podcast concept is by Matthew Pittman. Theme music, recording, and post-production services provided by Jen Eads at the Brassy Broadcasting Company. We will see you next time on Our College, Your Voices.